Shadyside Presbyterian Church is filled with aching visionaries. They know who they are. They can see where they want the church to be. They have some idea that they want to live into God's future for them, but they also sense the distance. There's just such immense potential here. When you're rooted well, you can grow, right? And that's what I see as both the invitation and the challenge ahead of us.
Austin came to our attention by God, and God was just like, okay, you guys have worked really hard. Here she is.
As a committee, we had really grown together. The whole process had been so positive, focusing on a common goal, reading the congregation's survey and all the really honest answers people gave us, and really the many positive interactions that we had with so many candidates.
We had talked to so many wonderful, wonderful candidates that didn't work for whatever reason. It didn't work for them or their families. It didn't work for us or our congregation.
When I started listening to her sermons, I thought, this is it. She was able to take scripture and apply it to everyday life in a way that's interesting and engaging.
She talked about loving the congregation. And even though I was never the one in our group who talked about being moved by a sermon, I was the one who wanted to be challenged to think. I found myself in tears and was really struck by that. I began to imagine what it would be like, both for me personally and the congregation, if that love and vitality were to spread throughout the congregation and then out beyond the church doors.
It was apparent to all of us that she was the best candidate, without question, and we fully have confidence that she will be a great pastor for Shadyside moving forward.
It wasn't until everything was pretty squared away with the PNC that I stepped into the pulpit, and I immediately felt at home. There is a softness to the stone there, and that feels odd to say until you've touched it. But if you rest your hands there on the stone of the pulpit surround, it feels like a hug. And for a preacher, that is a huge deal. And then immediately after that sense of feeling at home came that overwhelming sense of wanting to do well, wanting to give my best offering, wanting to step into the tradition of the people who've gone before me, and realizing that feels like a gargantuan task. But I think the most important thing is to remember that for all of those people who came before me, Christ was at the center of their work. And Christ is at the center of my work. And so on the days when I feel inadequate or as if I don't quite belong there in that pulpit, I really want to hearken back to that sense of Christ being at the center and to that welcome, to that feeling of home that I first felt when I stepped into the pulpit. And in that way, I feel that it's sort of an assurance from God that I've stepped right to where I'm supposed to be.